The public demanded to hear from the doc regarding the Twitch suspension. I guess since you all missed the point with my personal statement, maybe it's time to tell my side of the story.
Dr. DisRespect just called out Twitch. So Twitch just made a post on X claiming a new update to their enforcement system. So as you can see the post right here, they're implementing some changes to reduce the risk of streamers losing their communities and livelihoods for low severity violations, according to them. So as you can see this little graphic here, this sort of strange graphic I must say, and now they've implemented this thing where violations can now expire along with escalating consequences if you keep doing the same behavior over and over again. And yeah, it's just an interesting change. I don't know who's still watching Twitch. I know a lot of people do, but anyways, that's a topic for another day, but that's pretty much what they're doing. Now, Dr. DisRespect had some things to say about that, and we'll get to that in a second, but right now, I'm going to provide some context to what happened. So as you all know, Dr. DisRespect's Twitch account, which he was huge on the platform at the time, got indefinitely banned back in June of 2022 for violating community guidelines, and he was permanently banned indefinitely. So this was not just for a short period of time or anything like that. It's literally forever. So there was some evidence and some accusations against him for sending some really risky messages to a minor. And former Twitch director of strategic partnerships, Cody Connors, tweeted about this on June 21st, sort of shedding light on the whole thing, because as of the last 4 years or so, people really didn't know the real reason, including Dr. DisRespect, and obviously because of what was going on behind the scenes, there were certain things that couldn't be talked about in public. So as soon as the legality of it disappeared, this guy, Cody Connors, immediately tweeted about it, basically telling everyone what the real reason was. So this guy decided to get his 10 minutes of fame to do this, obviously to have insider information like that, and he basically threw it out there. And of course, Dr. DisRespect, or Guy Beahm, his real name, he basically had something to say about it. He wasn't going to stay silent.
My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations.
So he returned to streaming on YouTube back in September of last year and issued a long, lengthy statement on X denying the allegations and stating that Connors wasn't even involved in the investigation and didn't even have any first-hand knowledge about his dispute with Twitch. Along with that, he claimed that he never intended to meet this person that he was talking to at TwitchCon, which was one of the big red flags that they noticed, that maybe that was in the conversation, that he was going to meet this minor at TwitchCon, but he's saying that he had no intentions of doing so, obviously. So because of that, it's really a matter of Twitch having wrongly perma-banned him at the end of the day, in the sense that they didn't go through the same kind of process that they did with everyone else. From what it sounded like, from what Dr. DisRespect was saying, is that they kind of did this in a different sort of way, in an unofficial kind of way, and made this huge decision without even having investigated it like other cases.
So a day later, on June 25th, the LER analyst pulls the entirety of the Whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. The LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the Whisper messages to this director. Within less than 1 hour, this LER analyst and his director have made the decision to suspend me from Twitch.
Now again, this is all from what we're hearing from Dr. DisRespect, from this guy apparently, Cody Connors and stuff like that. So that's basically the quick, short synopsis of what happened in the Twitch banning. Nowadays, Dr. DisRespect is still streaming on YouTube. He just got remonetized. And also he made a huge multi-million-dollar deal, or I'm guessing it's multi-million-dollar, with Rumble. So he's basically doing the dual streams that he does on both. Now, let's go back all the way to the post that I just talked about at the beginning of the video. So Twitch support dropped this X post basically saying this update, and Dr. DisRespect replied to this and basically called him out on his personal account, Beahm, saying, although things have been settled, Twitch should do the right thing and correct their mistake of permanently banning the doc by reinstating the channel. We should have never been banned in the first place. Twitch should have never allowed a low-level employee to override the entire ban system, which had already determined we didn't do anything wrong because of biased opinions of the doc character. They could have reached out and had a quick 5-minute call and realized these mutual jokes and bantering never had serious intentions. Pathetic. Now, obviously, a lot of people are talking about this, specifically with his deal with Rumble, as he just made this big deal, and people are saying, okay, well, now you're going on X and you're basically telling Twitch to unban you. So they're kind of wondering, is he wanting to go back to Twitch? Is that something that he's interested in? He never said that anywhere in any of the posts or any of the replies. So again, we don't know. Only a person who knows that is the doc, if he wants to do that or not. But as it stands, nothing is confirmed in that. And I think this is just sort of a level of justice, it seems like. It seems like after everything that transpired, he still feels wronged by the whole thing. And whether you're on his side or not, there are some things to look at in terms of how this whole thing was handled. And Twitch really has a terrible track record of how they treat certain streamers over others. There's still plenty of moments where these streamers are getting away with murder while others do little things and get permabanned or long periods of time. And not just the doc, I'm talking about in general. So with that, I really have no faith in the company at all, Twitch, and I don't like anything about the way that they handle their business and everything. And again, has nothing to do with just stock, just in general, everything that I've seen in general with their double standards. I'm a huge proponent of not supporting that company. But with my own biases aside, this is definitely a case of him feeling wronged by everything that happened and just wanting a little bit of justice or a little bit of accountability on their end. That doesn't necessarily mean that he wants to go back to Twitch. It would be a little confusing to the stakeholders, especially with the deal he just made with Rumble. Obviously, I'm not saying that they don't have their own opinions on the matter in terms of him kind of making the statement out of the blue about Twitch. Like, at this point, it's better just move on, say screw them and whatever. They lost a big creator, they lost some monetary value on that. So anyways, it's obviously bad blood, but personally, I would never go back to Twitch ever. If that happened to me, I would never talk about them again. I would never even consider going back to that cesspool of a platform. But that's just me. But yeah, he just totally called them out, and it's been a long running thing. But let me know below, what do you guys think of this? Do you agree with him? Do you not? There's a lot of little nuances to this, and a lot of people still do not support the doc after everything that's come out. There's a lot of people in the Champions Club and his fans as well that still support him to this day, and there's still a lot of question marks in terms of everything that happened back then. But I think it's still safe to say that Twitch didn't really handle it well at the end of the day, regardless of whatever happened. So that's been settled, but that's all in the past now. But I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts below on the matter. But thanks for watching. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button, stay up to date with the latest videos just like this.